Right after COVID, I decided that it's time to give that old dream a shot.
You wanted to move to Europe, maybe, and
Yep.
America was not your top choice at the time. So why was that?
One of the key issues was around visa.
Yeah, UK is quite visa friendly in that sense, right? When you
Yeah.
compare to other developed markets. At a personal level, at a professional level, what were you expecting to happen in the next 1 year?
I think I came here laser focused on getting a job.
Welcome to another podcast of Business Casuals. This is the second podcast we are recording. This is with my good friend Jose. We were in a study group together, so we know quite a lot about each other already. So I think this is going to be an interesting one. Jose, I think first of all, thanks a lot for coming, taking out the time. I know
Thanks
you're
for
very
the
busy.
invitation. Of
Thanks.
course.
Yeah. I know you're very busy, so thanks for this. Maybe we can start about like I think in general we'll talk about like how LBS has kind of shaped our lives in the past 2 years, but maybe we start a little bit before 2022. That's when we started LBS. So
Yeah.
before 2022, what were you doing? What's your background like? Which city do you come from? Maybe what all languages do you speak? I think you do speak quite a lot of languages. What
I
your
wish.
interests are and everything. So yeah, maybe you can introduce yourself.
For sure. I think as a quick introduction, I'm Brazilian, originally from Rio de Janeiro. Um, and an important fact is, since I was very young, I knew at certain point I wanted to move abroad. At first, it was just that young idea of I want to travel, experience the world. Started my career working in accounting, joined a private equity firm back home, and 2021, right after COVID, I decided that it's time to give that old dream a shot. Let me see what are my opportunities around the world. I think for Brazilians, it's quite common to go to US. Europe was always my goal because easier to travel, a lot of cultures nearby. So let me look around Europe. What are the top business schools? This is how I ended up finding LBS and took the decision to come to do the MIF in the
Nice.
2022 cohort.
Nice. That's great.
And here
So
we are since then.
lovely to know you, man. Um, Tell me about pre-LBS. I think you were at Oxford or Cambridge?
I did a master's in Cambridge as well.
Master's in
It
Cambridge.
was a part-time master, so instead of being there for 9 months straight, for 2 years, I would go spend a week in Cambridge every quarter. So from
Every quarter.
2018 to 2020, every 3 months, I would spend a month in Cambridge.
Nice.
So yeah, it was my first attempt to study abroad. The part-time formats worked very well for what I was looking for at the time.
Yeah.
But the graduation in 2020 was not the best moments to leave.
Yeah,
Not just to
I'm
leave
sure.
Brazil, but to leave to anywhere. So
Yeah, I'm sure. So you traveling from Brazil? Like you were in Rio at that time?
I was in Rio,
So
yeah.
you're taking flights say, from Rio to
Yeah, a lot
London,
of
like
British Airways flights.
wow, man, that's quite nice. Like I hope you got some good miles and stuff out of it.
Yeah.
And made some good use of that during your MIF. So
Yeah, indeed.
yeah. So you said from beginning your motivation was you wanted to move abroad. Right? That was one clear motivation that you
Yeah,
had.
I think it was a personal and a professional motivation. On the personal side, uh, I think wanted to experience different cultures, meet new people. From a professional side, especially coming from a less developed market, I was very curious on how more efficient market operates, more developed markets, more mature markets. So this would be a professional ambition on, okay, especially UK, London, one of the financial hubs
Yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah.
It part of the idea was also fulfill this professional ambition and see how people do business out here.
Nice. And so were there any other clear motivations that you had? So apart from like yeah, moving to developed markets, moving abroad, experiencing new things, were there
Yeah.
anything else that was guiding your motivations?
I think this is a little bit down the fact that when I move out to the UK, my idea was not to come back to Brazil, was to stay
Sure.
here for the longer term.
Yeah.
This includes raising family, if at a certain point having kids.
Yeah.
I think here would be a better starting point for them.
Yeah.
Even if they want to go back to Brazil at a certain
Yeah.
point, I think they have a better starting point if they come here and then they move back. So it was also a decision thinking about the future.
Nice. Nice. And so you talked about you wanted to move to Europe, maybe, and
Yep.
America was not your top choice at the time. So why
Mm,
was that?
good question. I think US would fit most of my criteria, developed markets, a lot of different people, different cultures, very good potential for the longer term. One of the key issues was around visa.
Sure.
I have two nationalities, I'm Brazilian and Portuguese. So I always had this plan B that if it's necessary, going to continental Europe might be an option. I don't need a visa. While in the US, I knew from the get-go that maybe the visa would be an issue.
Hmm.
So in terms of US, UK, Europe, I think that the visa was one of the key concerns. This is why
Okay.
I ended up deciding to come to the
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah. Yeah. UK is quite visa friendly in that sense, right? When you
Yeah,
compare to other developed markets.
yeah, I think they quite rely a lot on international students, the
Yeah.
models of the business schools, and especially right now with the graduate visa.
Hmm.
Not sure if European students will say the same,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. For them, it's kind of a setback, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
because before Brexit, they would just come and pay. I think the visa is not just the issue, but also the fact that they pay the international fee now.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that was the
they
case. So
do, they do.
okay, wow. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a kind of a level playing field now for everyone.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just saying, just saying. Anyways. So, pre 2022, so I'm assuming you started thinking about applications 2021, or did you start thinking about it before?
It was towards the end of 2021. I think towards the end of 2021, I started mapping out what are the courses available, schools, matching, the balance of what am I going to be learning, what is the experience, and also checking on LinkedIn what people that graduated from those schools, what they are doing, and how this would fit what I was looking for. So after a couple, 1 or 2 months of research, I drew down to through three schools, and
Nice.
those
Why,
were the
why,
ones that
why
I
not go
applied.
back to Cambridge?
I thought about it. I thought about it, but I think I wanted to experience something new. And
Nice.
also, imagine if you do like one of the searches that I did when you go through LinkedIn, a lot of, by my time, Cambridge alumni, they were usually not going for the structured hiring routes. They were mostly like senior executives, maybe in British companies, or um, not a lot of them were taking the financial industry, those some associate programs, while
Sure.
LBS students massively were being hired by those by
Okay.
that time.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I think by what I want, LBS might position me better.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Um, when you started looking at applications, so LBS applications, let's talk about that. So I think they have these two questions on, I think, what's a short-term goal and long-term goal, and then second question is, I think, how what is it? How are you going to give back to the school society?
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
those are the questions.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
how did you go about answering them?
Oof. I think that at first, it was my second time doing it because I did it a couple of years
Right.
before for
Okay.
Cambridge. And I think this is a very good moment to, at least for myself, to think about your whole career, what you want to do, how, why, what is the narrative you're going to use. So as I was writing this, I was also shaping my own narrative on what's my next step and
Hmm.
how can I use LBS to help me to get there. My short-term goals were quite straightforward. Wanted to do investment banking or, if possible, go straight to private equity. I was already doing PE in Brazil. If this didn't work, they ask you for your plan B.
Plan B. Yeah.
So, corporate finance or given my accounting background, doing a controllership role, I think would be a safer choice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I
didn't
didn't know you
expect
ever
it.
considered that. Okay, that's something new for me as well. Wow, okay.
And how I would give back to LBS. I talked a little bit about the clubs, LBS clubs. So
Hmm.
not just Latin America, Brazil. Some of these clubs they are quite close to Oxford and Cambridge clubs as well.
Okay.
So I kind of saw myself as this person. Okay, since I've been there, now I'm gonna be here. Maybe I can make a bridge between
Right.
both, and this will be beneficial for both LBS, Cambridge Business School as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how I sold myself to LBS.
Nice, nice, nice. And there are other questions as well, right? Like the kind, like I think you talk about, have you had any setbacks in your academic or professional career, or what kind of international experiences have you had?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think for you, one clear international experience was when you were in Brazil, but still like doing your master's
Mm-hmm.
over here in Cambridge.
Yeah.
What other stuff like did you highlight?
One of the things that I use to kind of give LBS comfort that okay, I don't remember exactly what were the words, but as you mentioned, they ask about objectives, setbacks, achievements. When I was in Cambridge, I was still working with an NGO back in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and I managed one of the projects we had to do during the course was you need to find an NGO or something with social impact where our cohort would provide a consulting service. So I managed to do this bridge with the NGO I was working with and my cohort doing this consulting project in Cambridge. And I was telling LBS like, okay, this is basically how I do stuff. I always give back. Uh, Cambridge supported me. This NGO supported me. So let me link both of them together, make
Nice.
them support each other. And I'm pretty sure that I'll do the same for LBS. I'll find people
Yeah.
either to bridge LBS to or bring something back from LBS to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is what I mostly talked about.
Yeah, which is something what you're doing right now in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
podcast. You're trying to give back to the
yeah.
society and like, help people, right? Hopefully. You said you applied to three schools. What were the other two schools that you applied to?
Oof. Cambridge, Myth,
Yeah.
and HEC, Paris. I think is the Myth as well.
Okay.
But it was very clear from the get-go that HEC Myth, by the time the cohort was much younger than LBS.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think it was more like a straight from graduation masters, while LBS Myth was post experience. This is why I ended up choosing
Right.
LBS.
Right. And on that point, I think all of us might have considered this to some extent, right? We could have also applied for the MBA, which is also a very like
Yeah.
nice course that's offered by LBS and some other schools as well. But we went for the MIF, and even in the MIF, I think we like there are other courses like LBS has MFA and like HEC has like the early careers Master in Finance. Why not MBA? Why not maybe HEC's? Maybe why not HEC's Master in Finance is probably a younger cohort, or why not MBA?
Why not MBA? I think we can break down this in key factors. First is the fee. It's
Yeah, 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 yeah,
double the
yeah,
price.
yeah, yeah, sure. No
And
brainer.
by the time when we look at LBS, the way that they were marketing the two programs, both of them were for post-experience
Yeah,
professionals, while the myth was clearly towards people that have an inclination wanting to work in finance. While the MBA also covered finance, it was broader. So if you're coming from finance and you want to change, or if you're coming from a different field and you want to move to finance,
yeah,
the MBA will get you the tools to do it. While the Masters in Finance was much more technical, focused, and I knew I wanted to stay in finance.
yeah,
So
yeah,
basically, half of the price. I get to graduate earlier, focusing on the finance field.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
I only see
yeah.
upsides.
Yeah, I think for me as well, I think these were the two things. Like, I pay half the money, spend half the time, and get back to the job market as quick as possible. I think that works. That worked well for me because like I knew I was going to stay in finance, and I knew I was going to probably be in a similar kind of industry and
Yeah,
role that I did before, but I just still wanted to do like a
yeah,
master's.
yeah.
So
And this
it
is
was a clear
something
way out.
that I was not aware by the time, but looking back, the MBAs now you have the 1 year MBA, but the two you get 2 years of a career break, which if you need or you really want to get back to your career as soon as possible, maybe the 1 year me for the 1 year MBA fits better. But if you have the time and the money to go through it, having a 2 years break, it's
It's good. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it's good. I'm sure. I'm sure. No one's complaining
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I didn't have either.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So I think we talked about applications and how you approached application. Which round did you get admitted into? Which round did you apply?
I
Do you remember?
think it was round three.
Round three. Wow.
Yes, around March. Um, my there was a reason behind this. As I told you, I think by the end of the year 2021, I was trying to decide what to do. Beginning of the year, start putting together the material, which is something that if you never applied for international school, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if you need to translate most of it to English,
Sure.
if the native language of what you do, your studies, in your qualifications are not in English, you need to translate it all, so it takes some time. And LBS has this option to waiver the GMAT.
Yep. Yep.
Since I already did this first master's in the UK, I applied for a GMAT waiver
Okay.
and it worked. If not, I would probably have to go to either round four or the next year to cohort
Okay.
because I didn't have my GMAT by the time.
Wow, okay. So did they ask you for any like extra essays or something to talk about, like to justify for a GMAT waiver?
No, so when you apply, you have an option to say you also want to apply for a GMAT waiver. Right now, I don't remember, but I think after that they sent me a separate email, like send me the material to
Sure.
support your request to get the waiver. And I think once the investment committee, the committee, the admission committee sits down to decide your case, they also go through your waiver, which they just reply like, "Oh, your waiver has been granted."
Nice.
I just had to send my scores in Cambridge and my graduation certificate, and that
Okay.
was it.
That's really nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
never I knew about the GMAT waiver. I never knew how it worked.
Did you do it? Your GMAT for it?
I didn't do my GMAT, so I got in through GRE.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. Because
okay.
they use it like they use both GRE or GMAT, and I
Yeah.
think when I got through, it was like the fifth year. So I think the score is only valid for 5 years.
Ah, okay.
So I think I applied in the fourth or fifth year. It was just about to be expired, and I applied just before that.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
so I got lucky that way. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So you did the GRE in 2000.
Some 17 or 18, I think.
Wow.
18 January is when I did my GRE. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
So it
because
was
I
almost the
know
fourth year.
it requires quite a kind of a preparation to do it.
It was a lot of hard work. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's something that I don't know if you're gonna agree with me or not, but to do these kind of standardized tests, you need to learn their way of asking questions and their way of thinking.
100%. Yeah.
So sometimes you feel very stupid because you don't score good enough, well enough, but it's a matter of more about learning their way of thinking and
Yeah, yeah,
their
yeah.
way of answering questions.
I'm to be honest, like I'm not very good at it. So it took me two, three attempts to get the score I wanted.
Yeah.
And even then, like I didn't really get the score I wanted. Like I just got a 100 percentile in quants
Mm-hmm.
after one or two attempts. And then I was like, okay, that's it. Like whatever is my verbal score, which wasn't that great.
Uh-huh.
I was still like, that's fine. Like I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. Maybe I can enhance my application by having good work X and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
think from the time I applied with my sat for my GRE, the next 4 years I just like worked on my profile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Which is something, it's all about your narrative.
yeah,
If you, I was never the top scorer in any
yeah,
of the courses I
yeah,
did. So if you look from an academic perspective, I think my scores are not that great. But on the other hand, I had tons of side projects,
yeah. Okay.
interesting stuff on my
I'm sure your
professional.
scores are great, by the way. But then, yeah, you're being humble. But yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, I'm sure like side projects help.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's very key. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So round three is actually quite late. I was going to ask you the question that when you got admitted, until you came to London, what did you do? But round three is
It was like three
March.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
3 months. Yeah.
So I was working for the company that I was working by the time for 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years, 5 years. I don't remember. Um, so it was more around finalizing stuff at work. I
Sure.
think I had a proper like free time for a month before coming to London, saying goodbye to friends, enjoying like favorite food one last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and literally brought one piece of luggage with me, and that was it.
That bag. That's what I'm going to do in Singapore. Yeah. Um, and then, so you came, I'm assuming, like first or second week of August and something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. I think it was like first week of August.
Yeah. It's a good time to be in London.
Yeah, because it's
Summers, right? Proper
yeah, yeah,
summers.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
too warm.
Yeah. It's too warm. It's too warm. What were your expectations? So when you were landing in London, this time to do your master's in finance, at a personal level, at a professional level, the course hasn't started yet. What were you expecting to happen in
Yeah.
the next 1 year?
Oof, that's a good question. I think I came here laser focused on getting a job.
Yeah.
So I was not sure about social life, if I would enjoy London or not. I was focused that I need to find a job for myself and I'm gonna do whatever it's required to get it. So one of the things that people always tell you when you join LBS is you need to pursue things by yourself. School
Yeah.
won't give you anything. Um, so I was kind of going through LBS material, portal, website, trying to search for any kind of knowledge that would be useful.
Yeah.
And I was also expecting, I think, meeting interesting people. I knew that cohort would be very diverse. I was quite curious to get to know the people, what they were doing before LBS. I think that was it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, okay. No aspirations like I just want to get a job in M&A in Goldman Sachs or something like that.
Of course, that was the top goal, but
That was the top goal.
in
Okay.
in the end, anything that comes, it's
That's good enough. That's good,
the
right?
main goal is to stay here for the longer term.
Yeah,
So
okay, okay.
anything that would pay the bills,
Okay,
would
nice, nice.
work.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a very positive way of looking at it. Or also I feel like yes, it's positive, but it's also like a is a right way of looking at it, and like the
Mm,
more practical and pragmatic way of looking at it,
mm.
because like those like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley jobs are probably like there are 5 seats, 5 or 10
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
in a
yeah,
good year
yeah, yeah.
10, and I think the whole MIF batch applies for it.
The MBA as
And the
well.
MBAs apply. So there are like around 150 MIFs, and then there are 500
500
MBAs.
MBAs,
So
yeah.
650 people, 10 jobs. I don't think the odds are in our favor,
Yeah,
right? So
and you get the other schools as well. The people are applying, so it's.
exactly, it's quite
What
competitive.
about you? Because you were already in London, right? When you
I
applied to LBS.
I was already in London, so my motivation for applying was a little different. Like I'd already been working in London, and when I was working, so I was working with a bank over here. All the people around me had like these master's degrees from UCL or LSE or Imperial. So they had their like networks on the floor, on the trading floor. They knew people just because they went to the same school or like an year
Yeah.
ahead or a year before or something. But that was a good connection for them.
Mm,
I didn't have any of that. I had a bit of that back home in India. Uh, my university is quite good back home, but like no one really knows about it over here. So always felt like it would be good to have a master's and a master's from like a good school, so that I kind of when I go back to the trading floor, I'll have that kind of network,
yeah.
which did happen. Like after LBS, when I went back to the floor, I there were some other people from LBS, so even though they were not in the same business as me, I could just still go to them and say hi. Like I've
I
just
was
done
going
my
to ask
course.
you this, and now that you graduated, if you're one of those that have your
I
connection.
think it has helped quite a lot. It has helped quite a lot. So like even with now moving countries now, I'm just able to like reach out to people saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in this new country, and can we just have a coffee?" And then I'm having coffees with people right
Yeah,
now, and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just helping me with like the most basic things, right? Like when you come to Singapore, then maybe this is a nice area for you to live in,
Yeah,
which is doesn't look like a lot, but it's such a great help already because now I know where to search for a house, and
Yeah,
yeah, they've
yeah.
put me in all the alumni groups and everything. So I think it's definitely helped in that ways.
Mm,
So I wanted that. I also wanted like the branding. Like I think my first answer was like almost like branding, but like I also wanted branding specifically. So I didn't want to go to any business school, but I just wanted to go to
uh,
LBS. So that's why. So I applied to three places, but there was only like there were two Indian schools. Then there was only LBS over here.
mm,
So yeah, I think that was a key. What other things? I also wanted a break, man. I really wanted a break from work for some time. I think I was really like I had a stressful stretch of like 4 or 5, I think 5 or 6 years at that time. I felt that a break would be good, so I went to
yeah.
LBS to take that break. I think I had a very hectic 5 6 years working, so I really wanted a break, and I thought LBS would be that break. It
Mm.
wasn't a break. It was really
Yeah,
really tough.
yeah. Not sure if we're gonna get there at a certain point, but would love to hear your views, your thoughts on how was your LBS journey.
My LBS journey was great. I think it was not an easy one. Definitely not an easy one. I had to work quite a lot. I think I worked really hard when I was at LBS. It was quite rewarding for me personally because when I said I wanted a break, I also like I wanted a break so that I can work on some problems that I was just generally interested in life. And when you are at work, because you have that like daily work stuff going on, I only don't have that much time to work on my own stuff. So I used LBS as a platform almost to
Yeah,
work on those kind of stuff. So like if you remember the investments project that we did,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was a trading strategy that I always wanted to work on for like 3 4 years now, and I just like I got that course and I saw an opportunity, so I was like, fine, like I'll build it for
Yeah,
1 month, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it helped me quite a lot that way. Yeah, even the stuff that I did with Marco, that was stuff that I wanted to work on for a very long time, anyways. So
Yeah.
I was like, it was a good opportunity for me, and
'Cause these were the first 3 4 months,
for
right?
yeah,
From
yeah,
the beginning towards the end of the
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. I think what were the challenges? Challenges were like I think I really like compromised on sleep quite a lot. And that's not something to do with LBS. Like it was just because I had some time and like I wasn't working, so I became very active like on my social media. So I was posting these stories every night on Instagram, which used like which I thought won't take that much time, but like if I
Uh-huh.
want to put them in the way I put them, it takes like 1 or 2 hours to put like 7 stories.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think that kind of I compromise my sleep quite a lot on that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I compromise sleep, and I think my fitness kind of started getting hurt after 4 or 5 months. So the first 4 months were fine. I was still in my fitness regime, but then January and February came, which is when peak recruiting started for me, and I was like, I just didn't have the time. I was just
Yeah.
like not able to swim. Yeah, I was not doing very well fitness wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I think it was great. I got to travel a fair bit, which was nice. Um, got to
Do you
travel.
know how many countries you've been to?
I don't know. My Instagram knows. Let's see. I think it's like maybe 13 or 20,
Wow.
15 to 20, something like that.
Wow.
It's not a big number. I compared to what people in LBS did, it's not a big number, but it's yeah, maybe 15 to 20 countries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like to do more. 100 countries, right? But we'll get there slowly. I think with travel, it was good. I didn't really do like any leisure travel per se. I did a bit. Maybe I did 2 or 3 trips, which were just like pure leisure travel. But I did like that. W- there's this investing challenge that University of Virginia does. So I was on a
Uh-huh.
team with like Moksha and Katie. So I used that as an opportunity to go to the States.
Yeah.
Then when I was there, I tried to do like a little bit of coffee chats in New York,
Yeah.
just saying like, hey, I'm over here for a competition anyway, so do you have time to meet for a coffee?
In
And
a
I
hall.
did get some chats, which were
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice.
Yeah, that was nice. What else? I did like the commodity trading track in Geneva and Zurich. Um, yeah.
Because
Otherwise,
that's the thing, you get to travel with LBS, like those organized travels from school stuff, and you also get informal travels with your classmates or you
yes, yes,
organizing it.
yes.
Yeah,
That it was fun. I did we travel together? I don't think we got a chance to travel together.
I don't think so. Yeah,
We did some cheese boards at my home. I remember,
yeah,
and
quite a
that,
lot
that
of those.
that was fun as well. Like I mean, I don't think I would have ever done something like that had it not been for
Yeah.
LBS. Like
And it's something that after you work, as you mentioned, you were working for 5, 6 years non-stop, and then you have a break where you can have a cheese board with a nice drink with your friends on a Wednesday night, and you
exactly,
don't need to worry about the next day
yeah,
because you only have class.
yeah,
I don't
at
know what.
4 o'clock.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that is
Yeah,
something that after a couple of time doing it, you kind of get used, and you
yeah.
kind of forget how is real life.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know, I know. I know, I totally know. It was, I think it was a great experience. I would have loved it if there was maybe like for the kind of recruiting I was doing, there was maybe a little bit more of career support.
Mm,
Like I think there's a lot of career support for like recruiting in M&A or investment banking, but
yeah,
for the kind of stuff I do,
yeah.
it's almost non-existent.
Yeah, I think being through the M&A recruiting, I can say that yeah, there's a lot of opportunities,
Yeah.
but it's also they're not gonna do anything crazy for you. So it's kind of you have the as you mentioned, you have the platform, and then
Yes.
it's what are you going to do with it? They're not gonna do hand holding and teach you and take you to
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's more up to the students to get after it.
Yeah. I was, to be honest, okay with it. Like, I mean, it would have been nice. Like, I paid so much money, so maybe some jobs came to
Yeah,
me by themselves.
yeah,
It would have been nice, but I was okay with it. Like, I get it.
yeah.
I almost like even when I was joining, maybe I didn't think like this when I was there, but like before joining and after I've graduated, I almost think that the value that LBS offers is very long term.
Mm,
Um, it's not just like that 1 year and the job that you get after that 1 year, but it's more like even after 10 years, you're still a part of this network and you can reach out to people, maybe
yeah,
like you're
that's
going through
true.
something
That's
and
true. Oh, the student nowadays, 2 years after graduation, most of my not okay, most of my recruiting efforts or networking efforts are around LBS
exactly.
group of people, and it's maybe it's also it's easier to connect with them, but you kind of get a starting point. Okay, LBS, when did you do it?
Yeah.
Why did you come? And you have some stuff to talk about, so it's usually easier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of the things that I would be keen to hear from you is, for me, LBS gives you the space to. You want to be top 10 students? That's fine. You have the time to do it.
Yep.
There's a recognition and award for people to do it. Do you want to go for just for job searching?
Yep.
Yep, that's fine. The classes are not that hard. The school not going to require a lot of your time. You need to skip some important things to go for recruiting. Just let school know. They're usually very chill about it.
Yeah.
Do you want to be social? Don't care about classes that much, don't care about exams that much, don't care about recruiting that much. I want to be involved in the clubs, in the students
Yep.
association, get to know people, get to know different stuff. That's also possible. How was it for you? How did you manage all those?
So for me, from my undergrad experience, so during my undergrad days, I was very bad at attendance. So I really felt that I missed out a lot. So when I came to like a grad school, I was very sincere about attending classes. So I think I would have barely missed any class, maybe one or two in the whole of like the 1 year that I spent over there. I was very sincere about attending classes because and I was very attentive in those classes as well. So I think with education, I said I don't care about grades, but I do care about like sitting in a class and grasping everything that the professor is telling us and also contributing to the class. So I was very vocal in a lot of classes. Like I was trying to speak as much as I can, trying to like either ask questions or either just like give my perspective. And I had this very clear thing in my mind that look, I've paid a lot of money to the school, and in this class, yes, there are 80 people or 100 people, but I'm not going to like get out of this room without my questions being answered.
Uh-huh.
My questions have to be answered, and they have to be answered in the class because a it's like I really want to know, and second, like maybe it's for the good of like everyone else as well. Like
Yeah.
um, that was my perspective in class. So I made sure I attended every class. With exams, I was like just doing whatever was needed to be done. I didn't do a lot of courses with exams. I did a lot of courses with like take home assignments and stuff like that. And again, I was true to that. I was very heavy on clubs. So I was a part of the finance club. I was leading the sales and trading division over there from the beginning of it. Then I was also the treasurer for tattoo. Maybe some other clubs, I can't remember, but these were the two big things, and they were very like they were quite a big part of my LBS life. Sundowners after I graduated, but that's a different thing altogether. Sundowners is after I came out of MIF, but I did that for 1 year. um, I loved the whole club's concept. I could meet people from other courses. I could brand myself as when I'm trying to network or I'm trying to reach out to people, I could just brand myself as saying, like, hey, I'm representing the finance club at LBS. We would love to have you here.
Uh-huh.
Come and speak for us, speak at a speaker event. Um, Most people would respond with saying, yeah, sure, why not? So I got a, like, there were some people from my previous workplace which were almost intouchable for me when I was in the bank. But then now I'm not in the bank, and when I reached out to them, they were very happy to come and like talk to everyone, right? Like so I
Yeah.
could arrange for some speaker events and stuff like that. Um, I also got to like know some of those people personally afterwards, and that was really nice. Um, we did some cool events. Yeah, yeah, very, very cool events. And then tattoo was another like yeah, it was the event of a lifetime for me. Like I don't think I can ever forget tattoo. Managing that and organizing some of the stuff over there, even though I was just managing the finances, it was still quite cool. Like there was a close knit of like 10, 15 people who were doing it um, from all courses. So and we got to like learn through like how school manages finances and stuff like that, and what kind of vendors can you get on board and stuff. And all of this had to be done like we started planning I think 4 months ago or three, four or yeah maybe 4 months ago or something. But then all the work essentially happened in the last 1 month before
Mm-hmm.
tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like one month of head down. This is it. We're going to do this, right? Like along with the coursework and the recruiting and everything. So I did
Yeah.
sleep, but it
Yeah.
was totally worth it. Yeah, that was my experience. What else was there? Yeah, I think that was it. I took part in like some like other events. Like I went to MBAT to play Counter Strike, which is yeah, again
Amazing.
very different. But I went to
Did not know
Paris.
they had a Counter-Strike
They
competition
do, and
in
it's
back.
quite rigged. I mean,
Oh.
it's quite rigged because they have these four computers which they give to themselves, which are connected with like a wired cable,
Uh,
and then they give the other team like four other computers which are working on a mobile hotspot. So when they are shooting, their bullet hits your head, but then when you are shooting, you see the person over there, but that person is actually not there. It's somewhere else because of like the
yeah,
bad
yeah,
internet
yeah,
connection.
yeah.
It's yeah, it's completely rigged. So I played and I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm not doing this. Bye. I left. Um, but yeah, it was still fun. Like we before MBAT, we did like a mini like trip to Normandy and we drove around over there.
Nice.
That was very nice. Yeah, I think I danced at the Diwali ball. So there are some typical things that I do when I'm in school, right? Like
Uh-huh.
when I was in undergrad, my goal was to do one stage show every semester. I had 8 semesters. I did 8 dance shows. At LBS, I had maybe like two terms, like 4 month terms. I could only do one dance show, but like I think I was happy with that. Yeah, yeah. My experience was very good.
That's very
How was
nice.
yours? Like, did you participate in any clubs and stuff?
Oof. I was part of the finance PVC club,
Yeah.
mostly focusing on recruiting.
Mm.
I think it was a little bit hard to balance the social with recruiting. Both of them were top priorities for me. And when you join LBS, you have people from all over the world, especially in the first months when everyone's getting to know each other, taking you to try their home food in local restaurants that they
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, I think January, February comes and then recruiting starts and things start getting a little bit more rushed.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I was definitely less involved in clubs than you. I remember you were always busy, always doing
I was really,
something.
really busy.
Whatever happening was happening in school, you were
Yeah.
always involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You were usually the go-to person for me to ask about anything. Hey man, you know about this? You know about this event? How do I get tickets? Is it going to be a good one?
And I think social life was very big for me. I That was one of the top priorities because I totally believe in like you go like I kind of embody the whole live and embody like the you only live once kind of attitude, right? Like and if you come to LBS, why not get the whole experience?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a very interesting point because when I met you, I remember you were like very concerned about your health.
Yes.
So you did a lot of exercise. As possible, you were checking on which kind of food you're gonna eat. But then, as social life and recruiting start getting in front of you,
Yeah, yeah.
how do you manage it?
I don't know, man. I think the last 4 months I did take a hit, health wise. I would have loved it to be different, but I think it did take a hit because I just didn't have the time and I started eating, biryanis. I
Yeah,
started eating biryanis
yeah.
for lunch every day. Totally unhealthy, but shouldn't have done it, but I did it. I'm still trying to reverse the effects of that. um, yeah, I think, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. It was just hectic. And I just like
Yeah.
took one day at a time. But fortunately for me, like I tried to pack most of the courses um, till April or May. So I finished everything by May, from what I remember. And I also did one more thing. So um, towards the end, I started taking a little bit of courses which were like, organizational behavior kind of courses so that I have a little less workload. Those courses are very nice. Like I think like my favorite course in LBS was leading teams and organization.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from like one other macroeconomics course, but that I learned so much from that course. But that course doesn't really allow like demand a lot for you from you outside class. There's some work, but I can
Yeah,
do it really
yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
And I think that's a very interesting point because one of the key things for me in LBS, as you said, you chose classes that didn't have many exams. You prefer the take-home
Yeah, yeah.
projects. Also, a lot for me around keeping me healthy was mental health as well. So
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of peer pressure when recruiting starts.
Yes.
Someone got already an offer for an internship, and you're still there looking for something. And then it's exactly when you start maybe eating less healthy food, stop going to the gym, your nights become a little bit longer.
Yes.
So it was a very interesting self-learning process where I learned my limits, where can I stretch a little bit more, and
Yeah.
what are the things that I need to keep myself on balance all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I got into really like when the nights get lengthy and stuff like that, right? Like I remember all that. Yeah, I got into like weird habits of like eating chips and stuff. I never eat junk food. Like as a rule, I never go to the wafer section in Tesco or wherever.
Yeah.
But I was buying six packs every day, and I was just like munching all the time. I've been able to break that habit, but now I've developed like other habits of like eating chocolates and banana bread. So I'm trying to break those things. But yeah, it was fun. So on the topic of food and trying the food from different regions and stuff, like was there anything fun that you tried or like any experience on the food front that was at LBS, which which was great. Like maybe life changing or maybe like something you'll
Yeah,
remember.
for sure, man. I think especially having you here, there's a highlight on Indian food.
Yeah.
Um, from again, I come from Brazil, so we don't have many exposure to Indian food before. I think London has a great variety,
Yeah.
and it's a mix of flavors, complex flavors, different layers, different combinations that before that I never tried it.
Yeah.
Um, Samosa chats is so good.
Wow, really? You
Samosa
know the
chat.
name? Nice. Okay.
um,
That's cool.
and I think also like in terms of some Asian countries, they deal with the concept of having a meal is very different.
Yeah.
I think uh, it's very common in Western culture to go out for drinks,
Yeah.
and I think that in some Asian countries it's more common to go out for a meal. So it was very different for me to go to a restaurant to be there for a number of hours, having small bites, small portions of a lot of different food,
Right.
while I was used to just sitting down, grab my dish, eating it all, and maybe heading for drinks or
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
all
yeah.
this after some drinks.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting in the sense of food to explore different ways of okay, when they invite me to their place and they cook for me, it's their way of showing appreciation. Maybe
Yes.
they're not gonna hug me, they're not gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah.
like big demonstrations of affect, but
Yeah.
they're gonna cook me a very nice meal
Yeah.
and they're gonna invite me when they cook something different.
Yes.
What about you? Because you were already in London before me, so maybe you were more used to.
I think I was a little used to, yes, 100%. I don't think I ventured into a lot of food personally. I think the only venturing I did was hot pot, which was something new for me. Um, I'd never tried it before. I think it was quite interesting. I'm not sure if I still like it that much.
Okay.
And that's only because I've not tried it enough. I think
Okay.
if I try it more, I think I will start liking it. Because I just need to figure out what I need to order for myself. And I've not been there so many
Ah,
times. So I think I'm going to do that.
yeah,
Maybe explore that more in Asia.
yeah, yeah.
Um, that was interesting. What else? I think I like focused on cooking myself a fair bit, and I increased like I improved the level of cooking I was at by myself. That was my thing. I don't think I focused on food that much, or at least I can't remember. Maybe
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's a important disclaimer that food in London or in the UK can be a little bit different from what you used to.
Yeah,
Even if you eat your local home food
yeah.
in London, I don't know if the
It's
ingredients
not
are
the same.
different or something, but it tastes a little bit
It,
different.
it's not the same. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
and it's quite pricey. So,
It's quite pricey. I think one thing that happened during LBS was I got used to Dishoom quite a lot,
uh,
only because Dishoom was opened up a branch just below my house. I don't like Dishoom
I
that much.
remember you took me
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I know. I'm sure. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Dishoom, but now it's just so convenient, so I just like go there all the time. I think that's what happened during LBS. I don't know, man. I'm quite content with like Indian food and maybe Italian
I
a fair bit.
remember one of our first dinners together in London. You took me to
Um,
Mowgli,
Mowgli, yeah, yeah.
and there was this small. You know the name of it? It's like a small thing you put yogurt inside.
Yes, yes,
What's
yes.
the name
Like
of it?
it's called dahi puri.
Hipuri.
Dahi puri. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very good.
That's one of my favorite, all-time favorite like snacks. Yeah, yeah. I love it.
Something that I never had before, and it's. Do you know I like it and I don't know even don't know the name of it. So even if I go there, I cannot order it by myself.
I'll take you again and we'll order it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. What else do I have on the list? Let's see. We talked about recruiting in fair bit. I have some stuff like, were you excited to move to London? Like, would you like to talk about something like that?
Yeah,
So
I think I didn't have any much hard feelings around
maybe
London.
let me ask you the question. So
Okay,
that's what
okay,
I say.
okay.
So like when you were moving to LBS, that also meant that you were going to stay in London. So were you like, tell me more about like your feelings towards the city. Like London's a very nice and vibrant city to live in. Uh, what did you make out of London when you were there in 2023?
Mm, I think before coming, I had no hard feelings around London, either positive or negative
Okay.
feelings. It was more like financial hub, it's a
Hmm.
big city. But after you come, what I always say to people is there will be downsides, there will be upsides. So be well aware. What are you looking for when you move? I wanted to feel safe. I wanted opportunities around my job, good entertainment. I think London has quite of those, but on its own way, London is safe, but there are certain safety measures you need to take.
Yeah.
London has a lot of different options for entertainment, but depends on which kind of entertainment do you like. I did not used to go to parks when I was in Brazil. Now I do.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did not used to go to concerts when I was in Brazil. London has a lot of nice musicals and different presentations that you should definitely go for. I was not very foodie when I was in Brazil.
Yeah.
London has, although food in the UK is not one of their key strengths, London has a lot of different options for you to
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, night in London can finish quite early. So
Which is something I don't like.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Uh, Also, depending on the weather, if you're someone that doesn't deal with cold weather very good or you need sun, London can get quite
Yeah.
grayish the whole year.
Yeah.
So I don't care about those. I don't care about
Okay.
the cold. I don't care about the gray sky. So I like the safety. I like the entertainment options. I don't like that much that night finishes quite early here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
getting used to it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the park stuff. I've my undergrad school, it's like a big park, and there's like buildings in it. So I'm kind of used to it, but it's not a park in which you can, like, take off your socks and like go barefoot. But over here in the parks, they're quite nice. You can like really walk barefoot in the parks over here. Um, I like the parks. I don't go to them as much as I would like to. I'm
Okay.
just like lazy. But I like the parks quite a lot. I like the fact that it's like a very architectural city. There's some bits which are like really ancient Roman architecture, which is like, I don't know more a lot about it, but it just looks nice and like, to be in the presence of, feels nice to be in the presence of. And then there are also like places like Canary Wharf where we are right now, where I like get this whole New York City, Manhattan kind of vibe, which
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
as well. Um, I like all of this stuff. I love the train system over here. For whatever reason, I
It's
do.
quite well connected,
It's
yeah.
very well connected, so it makes life very easy to like get from anywhere to anywhere in like no like in very less money. It's not that costly. It maybe is costly, I don't know, but it's okay. I mean, it's not that bad. Um, what else do I like? I like that there are good like healthy options like eating wise and everything. They're not the most tastiest, but like they're okay. I did enjoy, like, on the parks point. I think I did enjoy like a lot of the picnics and stuff together that we did. Right, like we like the whole class would just put like, hey, we're meeting here for a birthday or
Yeah,
something, and then
yeah.
there would be like 30, 40 people who would show up. That used to be really nice. Or our time in all Alsops or Allsops or whatever you call it, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, I think the best thing I love about London is proximity to Europe. That's it.
Very easy to travel, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's I live in Canary Wharf, so that there's a direct train from here to Heathrow, and direct train from here to London City Airport, and that's all I care about. The quicker I can get out of the city, the better it is. Yeah. Otherwise, I think people are nice over here. It's quite safe for me. At least the places I go to are quite safe, which is something I value. And I do value like safety during nights, because I'm usually like after a work day, around 10 o'clock, I'll just go for a brisk walk. Or maybe if I have it in me, I'll go for a run.
Yeah.
So the areas I live in, they're quite safe for running and stuff
Yeah,
in the nights.
yeah. And there is another interesting point about maybe not just British culture, but more European culture. I think the same for you in India, but compared to Brazilian culture, I think the work-life balance here is much more taken serious
Yes.
than back home.
Yeah.
So in terms of taking days off, taking holidays, what are you gonna do after work? People do work long hours, but I think most people don't take it as granted or as normal. So as you're mentioning, like what are you gonna do after work, what are you gonna do on your weekends, parts. I think everyone value this a lot.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I did see a shift. There was a day when my manager came to me in another firm before, first job in London, and he was like, if you don't go back home at 6 o'clock, I'm going to penalize you. And I was like, this is great. Like, I've never had this because when I was in India, I was working till whatever, like sometimes 8 o'clock. Like, I also had a delayed start. I used to start only at like 1 p.m. But then sometimes I'll get out of office at 8 or 9. Sometimes it will be 12 o'clock in the night. Sometimes it will be 4 a.m. the other day, right? So there was no like there was no cap on when I was leaving the office. So I genuinely enjoyed that quite a lot,
Yeah.
like having evenings to myself.
It is
Yeah.
something maybe you were used to it because you were in London before LBS, but when I came to LBS, this was one of the key things that I saw. Like, well, everyone knows about like what to do, where to go, which museum is having what, and
Yeah.
which country in Europe was going to be the next big thing. We should all go together.
Yeah.
But as time passes by, you see that people here value this a lot, so you kind of get used to doing it as well.
I think I had gotten used to it a little bit, but when I came to the country for the first time, it was new for me.
Mm,
Like when I came to my job, like anyone and everyone around me, they were just talking about like, summers in Paris or like some time in Spain,
yeah.
skiing in Austria and stuff like that. I'm like, when I came here, I was, I don't know what this life is. So it took like a good 2 3 years for me to get used to it, but like I think by the time I was starting LBS, I was already used to this
Yeah.
lifestyle. Yeah, so I could be a part of it.
It feels good, right?
It feels good. It's also quite nice. I mean, I don't know, like how far are you in São Paulo?
Oof. Far too what?
Far in the sense like how long a flight between those two cities?
London and São Paulo or São Paulo and
Rio,
Rio?
Rio and Sao
Oh, it's
Paulo,
just 1 hour
1 hour
flight.
flight. So
Yeah.
it's like, why I asked that, like for me, like let's say a travel when I'm in India, I might just like go do a weekend travel from Delhi to Mumbai or from Delhi to Kolkata,
Uh,
1 hour flight, 2 hour flights, or to Bangalore, 3 hour flights, and that's probably like a weekend trip. Over here, yes, when we go to Europe, it's a longer, like it's another country or a different, whatever continent, maybe a different country for sure. But it's still like a 1 hour flight, so it's
yeah.
quite local, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
quite local. Yeah, I liked it. Um, anyway, so a lot we've talked a lot about like what we liked at LBS, what worked for us, um, how like life was apart from coursework and everything. How did life fare out for you afterwards? So let's say graduation day, post graduation day. How did life fare for you?
That's a very interesting topic. Maybe make a disclaimer that we came in, graduated in 2023, market was having a downturn.
Yes.
I hope that,
No one has to go through that again.
yeah, because it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Man, I think very transparent. It was very hard.
Yeah.
After recruiting, all this peer pressure in LBS, you come here with a lot of expectations. Goldman Sachs will come and pick me up because why not? I made it to LBS.
Yeah.
I'm probably very
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah.
then you realize that no, you
Yeah.
just graduated. I graduated, didn't have a job,
Yeah.
have my bills to pay. London was quite expensive. And honestly, this was a time where most of our classmates were taking a decision like, do I take steps back and I accept what the city can give me, given the current economic situation, given my background? Maybe I'm not as competitive as I thought I would be, or the market is just the moment where I thought it would be. I can go back home with international experience and make a lot of money and live a comfortable life, or do I want to stay in London? I had one person that was living in London already by the time, and she gave me an advice, which was the first 1 2 years can be quite tough,
Yeah.
but it will get better.
Yeah.
Hold tight. If you can keep your stuff together, it will be worth it.
Yeah.
Man, that's the advice I would give anyone
Yeah.
because indeed, although you don't see how and when or where, things got better. As you get used to the city, you get experience in here, you get used to how the hiring market works, what are the trends. Um, it got better. So right now I'm very happy with the decision to be in
Nice.
London, well positioned. Think much more used to the city, starting to feel like home. But right after graduation, no, it was very very hard.
It was hard. Yeah, yeah.
How was it for you?
I think the same for me. Like I was trying to move back to India for the most part of it when I was at LBS. So I was still trying to figure out like if I wanted to be in India or I wanted to be in London. I was interviewing for a role over there, which I was quite serious about. Um, for me there was no like settling in after LBS because like as you mentioned I do believe that 2 year thing is like it's so true. I think I've gone through something like that as well. When I came to London, like life was a little bit of a it was very haphazard. But then after 2 years I think I figured it out, and it only got better from there. Um, uh, for me, it was uh, after LBS, I think I missed having the freedom that I had at school, and I didn't really like going back to work in a structured kind of environment. I did miss that quite a lot. Otherwise, it was okay. I think it fared out well for me. I didn't get the dream job that I wanted. Like I wanted to go to hedge funds and like do some macro trading kind of stuff for them. I ended up going to do a similar thing that I was doing before LBS, which was still is still a very good thing to do, and I still like it. It's just like I had different ambitions. That's it. But I got a really good job. The salary increased quite a lot. I got a better title. So when I was entering LBS, before that I was an associate. After that I became an associate director, which is a good title jump and everything. So I think it worked out okay for me that ways. Um, I still kept missing LBS quite a lot, so I still keep going back as much as I can. Yeah.
You go back to do what?
So I did. When I started working, I think I was doing like just like sundowners on the side, just in the evenings, Thursday evenings, as a part of like sundowners crew and stuff like that. That was quite fun. So I did that for 4 months. After that, it got like work got hectic, so I couldn't really do that much of it. I did a course recently. I did distressed investing in the January this year. So I like sat in the class as an alum. That was quite nice. I've always wanted to do that course, but I knew that when I was at LBS, my recruiting goals were more important for me, and this was a course that was going to take a lot of effort to do. So I didn't have the bandwidth when I was at
Yeah.
LBS. Now I had the bandwidth, so I like did that course, which was quite nice as well. Yeah, I think it worked out well for me. If I were to ask you if there was one or two things that you would do differently, like the most cliched question ever, right? Like, would there be anything?
Yeah, I think there's at least two things, but it's easy to say now that
Yeah,
time has passed and
yeah,
you know how things ended up being. But first one, a lot of people say have a plan. I had my plan, but I think I was not aware that maybe plan A and plan B don't work,
hmm,
and maybe you need to find the middle ground between both of them.
sure,
So I think I could have been a little bit more creative in terms of what I want and how I'm going to achieve it. And the second thing, very cliche, someone told me this as well, but remember to have fun. Like, I think I was so stressed out around recruiting, and the amount of stress I was putting was not helpful at all. And I ended up missing a lot of the fun parts because I
okay,
was over stressing. And again, the over stress didn't bring any benefit.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I think
You?
I think this is the advice I gave to someone. Like I was after I came out of LBS. I don't think I'll change anything. By the way, I think the only thing I'll probably change is like not eating those wafers that I ate. Like that was absolutely not good for my health.
Were they tasty at least?
They were very tasty. I think I made you eat those hula hoops thing. Do you remember
Yeah,
those
yeah,
small things?
yeah,
They're so tasty, man. I still like.
yeah.
They're so tasty. But yeah, I probably won't eat those. Would I do anything different? Maybe not. There was one. I think there was one conversation I was having with a trader. I was sitting in a coffee shop and I was trying to get him to LBS to speak. And then after 20 minutes of that conversation, he said something like, enough of all of that. What is it that you want to do? And I gave him like a very fluffy answer about, yeah, I'm recruiting for something, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to do hedge funds, this, that, whatever. I feel in that situation, had I said, I want to do what you were doing, he would have given me a job. I feel so. I think that was a missed opportunity. But that's okay. Now I know that what a missed opportunity looks like. So next time it comes banging on my door, I will grab it with both my hands.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah,
I think that's a very
yeah.
interesting.
I was sorry.
Oh, go
Sorry. I
ahead.
was saying about like that advice that I gave to someone when I had graduated. I met someone from the next batch of MIF, and I told him about the recruiting outcome is not in our hands. Like, you'll spend a lot of time maybe thinking about recruiting or not thinking about recruiting. The outcome is going to be similar-ish. So might as well have all the fun you can have on the side, which is something that I focused on quite a lot. And I think recruiting was all right. I think that was my advice as well. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
you were saying something.
No, no, it's just now I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, no worries. That's not
Yeah.
relevant at all.
Yeah. Any any piece of advice that you would give to prospective applicants and stuff like that?
For sure. Again, these were the things that worked for me. Maybe not will work for them, but first is around the plan, questions that you need to have for yourself. Do I want to stay in London, or where do I want to stay after graduation? It doesn't need to be forever, but have a plan what you want to do afterwards. Second, think about if you want to do a career change. LBS has this idea of there might be three things you can change: your geography, your industry, and your position. It's easier to change just one. So if you want to change just geography, maybe you're not going to get the industry you want, or not the position or title you want. If you want to go back home and get a better title, that might be doable.
Hmm.
Now if you want to do the three of them, you want to change geography, industry, in a better position.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
Good
that's
luck.
too much to ask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, I know.
So be flexible around this.
Yeah.
If you want to keep the same position, the same industry, uh, how flexible you are around geography. If you want to move geography, understand you might get a lower position or not exactly the same industry that you want, but aim high. Don't let other people get on your way, and understand that different people will have different outcomes and different journeys. I'm pretty sure you can work, as you said, super hard. Someone that didn't work as hard as you might get the job that he wanted.
Yeah.
It's not merit based. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it is what it is. So
Yeah.
be aware of that.
Yeah. But the important part is to like also enjoy life and have fun
Yeah.
while you're doing all of this.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
true.
that's very
That's
true
very
too.
true.
Which I
A
think,
big chunk of the fee you pay is to have the optionality to have some fun while you're
yeah.
doing something for your career as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You, which piece of advice would you give someone that it's a prospective student?
I think I would for perspectives. I would like really um, my advice will be to have your expectations straight. Like, probably school's not, it's a great school. It opens up really big doors for you, but there's not going to be any spoon feeding or hand holding that happens over here. You are on your own, and be mindful of that. Like, I think a lot of people probably come to the school thinking that the school's going to bring jobs to them. That's something that's not going to happen. It does help having LBS on your CV, and um, like, I almost say it like this, right? Like, make sure that your technicals are spot on and like they're absolutely immaculate. After that, then it's upon you, like how you network with people and how you good are you with people and how can you open up doors for yourself. But doors do open if you try to knock on enough doors. They do open, I feel. It just takes time sometimes, or patience and
Yeah.
perseverance and all that stuff. Yeah, I think the expectation management is something that is key, and that would be my advice. Like, it's not like for me, like when I compare it to like business schools back home, if you go to one of the top two three business schools back home in India, you you are almost sure that you're going to come out with a job. That's not the same with LBS, right? Like companies come to the school, they hire in bunches of fives and tens for these roles. That's amazing. Those business schools are also quite like tough to get into. Like those people deserve those jobs, but it's just that um, the system over here is a little different. So the expectations can't be something like, yeah, if I come to LBS, the job's going to roll up into my hands. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my advice. I don't think I have anything else. Not that comes to my top of my mind. Yeah.
It's a very important reminder. OBS does not give you a golden pass through any
No,
jobs you
there's no
want.
golden pass. There's no golden pass. I don't think there's a golden pass for anything in life.
Yeah,
Not
that's
for you
true.
and me.
That's true. That's very
Maybe one
true.
day we'll have it, and we'll probably talk about it. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, man, thank you for doing this.
That's very cool, man. Thanks for the
Yeah,
invite.
yeah. Happy to have you here. I hope it does some good to whoever's watching this video.
Yeah,
And
amazing.
thank you guys. Thanks for watching it so far. Stay tuned for the next episode of Business Casuals. We talk business casually.